Recently, we had some casualties on that.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Hi. Okay, so the hard thing is I can't see everybody like I usually can to say
There you
hello.
go.
Hi, guys. How's everybody? Let me see who else I see. Okay, so we've got some things. There's Marty Posey, our board chair. Marty, are you cooking or are you just drinking tonight? That's all good? Okay, good.
We're good. We're
I
here.
think that's all really good. I've got some colleagues on. So those of us who are Make-A-Wish friends, right? Who are staff members, raise your hands and welcome our guests, please.
All right.
Turn on their what? Oh yes, if you're cooking, please make sure to turn on your video because we'd love to watch you. Then again, you could also turn on your video even if you're not cooking because then we can see what you're doing. And sometimes you may forget that you're doing things that are also kind of funny. Okay, I just saw one of our new board members, Allegra Jones. Good to see you, Allegra.
Okay.
Our good friends, Lucia and Scott Gilbertson. You guys don't look like you're cooking though. You look like you're just having fun tonight. So that's good. Okay, I want to be Izzy's wish to be a fashion designer on. Thank you. Dylan, our wish kiddo.
Yay.
That's our part of Wish Forward Council. He's going to talk to us in a bit. Looks like we have the Boccies from Napa. Hello. Hello, everybody. Let me see who else is on. I'm trying to look.
Right there.
I should have worn my glasses tonight. I feel like I'm getting older.
Hi, Dylan.
Ann's part of our team. Chloe, Linda, next to that. Let's see who else is it. We have a lot of folks who are not on. We don't have we need their cameras on. So I see our good friend and longtime supporter, Chris Otis. Chris, do you want to put your, Chris, can you put your camera on so we can see you? Chris has been a long time supporter of ours. Great to see you. Thanks for being here tonight. I love it. Okay, I'm seeing some others that I can't see as well. So the Bocci family is also a Wish family. Carson is on our youth board. Good to see you guys. Who else do we have joining us tonight? You should put it in the chat if I can't see you. So remember, this is a time for us to celebrate. You guys remember all of our good friends here at Bricoleur, right? I've got a really sharp knife, so watch out. I'm gonna give it to Mark. We're gonna make some fabulous food. Is everybody ready for that? This is a fabulous recipe we can enjoy either pre-Thanksgiving or at Thanksgiving. I would actually have this as a starter course, right? Absolutely. And the beauty of Thanksgiving this year, it should be smaller, so you can eat as much as you want and nobody's even gonna watch you, right? That's one idea for it. Anyway, so how are we doing? Are we doing pretty well on this? Okay. Is everybody ready? Who is cooking tonight? Is anybody cooking besides Chef and me? Okay, got a few hands going. Okay, great. Everybody have their ingredients, knives sharp. There's also Carrie Gott, our winemaker, who's I know going to be talking to us briefly. Does everybody have their mise en place like us? Fennel, goat cheese. I did not put my finger in it to eat, even though I wanted to. Okay. And everybody notices my trusty mask with my straw to taste a little of the delicious Bricoleur wine. It's very difficult to use, however. So I might go thirsty. Okay. Everybody, are we about ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, do you want to intro?
So I just want to introduce everybody. I think everybody remembers, if you've been on before, Chef Shane, who's going to lead us in this. I want to introduce everybody to Mark Hansen, who is the owner proprietor of Bricoleur with the entire team here. You can't see everybody behind the scenes, but there's a big team and they are awesome. Mark, I would love it if you could lead us and start us off tonight, please.
Sure, thanks, Betsy. We're excited to be here for, I think this is the fourth joint fundraiser, which is pretty exciting. And Bricoleur Vineyards is a family-owned estate winery here in the Russian River Valley. And we enjoy many food wine experiences on an outdoor basis 5 days a week. And we are excited to be able to partner with Make-A-Wish and help support Wish Kids all over the Bay Area and do our part. It's something that's been near and dear to my wife and my family's hearts for many years. And we got introduced probably about 25 years ago to Make-A-Wish, and have participated in many different events. And tonight we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to cook some recipes. And I want to remind everyone, if you don't know already, that we're going to do text to give as we're going through the night. So everyone can text Pinot to 4144 to help support Make-A-Wish, and we get some wishes for the kids.
That's right. So remember, because I keep forgetting to say it, text to Pinot, like Pinot Noir, P-I-N-O-T, to 41444. We'll pop it up at some point, or maybe we could put it in the chat too, just to remind people. Okay.
So as the night goes on, we'll talk more about some of the things we're doing here at Brinkler Vineyards, but let's turn it over to Chef Shane and do a toast and get started. So cheers.
Toast, everybody.
Cheers,
Open
everybody.
your wine if
Cheers.
you haven't
Open your
already.
wine.
Okay. Switching my straw.
Hopefully everyone at home doesn't have to wear their mask where you have to turn our heads and do it.
Right. Try and put the straw in my mask. Okay. Problem with the straw is you take a little bigger sip than you mean to. But I love the unoaked Chardonnay. Okay.
All right, so tonight, pairing with our unoaked Chardonnay, we're doing a couple of recipes. We're doing a butternut squash soup and a nice fall salad. Like Betsy was saying, I think this would be a lovely start to Thanksgiving. We have pretty extensive gardens here at the winery, so a lot of this produce was harvested today and yesterday by Mikey, our state gardener. We're not using butternut squash. We actually have these pumpkins squash called koji nut, which is a hybrid between a butternut squash and a kabocha. It's my first year working with them, but they're really good. I'm really happy with the results we had. We've done a couple different things with them, some pastas and some soups through these early fall dinners we've been doing. So first thing we're going to do is we have our oven preheated to 450 degrees. I just want to get our squash in the oven because it does take a little bit of time. It's going to take about 30 to 40 minutes. So I'll go ahead and get these cut for us. We're just going to cut them in half.
So Chef's going to use this crazy knife that he is not allowing me to touch. He's a very smart man. I'm just going to, while he's doing that, let me
We don't want an injury in the ambulance to show up.
Chef, can I just ask for a quick question? For those
Yeah.
of us that don't have access to these.
Yeah, butternut squash.
Right, so we can use butternut, we can use kabocha, we can
Kabocha.
use acorn, right?
Yeah, sugar pie pumpkins are great.
Okay,
Like,
great.
yeah.
Here's the other thing, Chef, it's okay if you do what I do sometimes, which is when you're cooking something else in the oven.
Yeah.
Maybe you picked one of these up, you've left it on the counter for a few weeks and
Right.
realizing maybe you should cook it. I just throw mine in and then I cook it and then I scoop it out and I put all the pulp in a Ziploc bag and pop it in the freezer and use it later. Is
Yeah,
that okay to
absolutely.
do?
We had the same
So
thing.
we could do this as well. And they used to actually sell frozen squash at the Safeway. I know we've got beautiful ones, but if people want to whip up something quickly, they could do that too,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
still use all of the rest of our.
And that's the thing,
ingredients.
like freezing gets a bad rap. Like it really, if you're cooking it in its peak form, especially if you're going to use it for a soup or a pasta filling, something like that, it's not going to hurt to go in the freezer.
Okay.
It's just you're going to lock it in when it's at its peak flavor rather than letting it
Great.
sit on the counter for another couple of months and maybe lose some of its sweetness.
Great. So tip to everybody tonight, depending on what you're cooking, just remember next time when you go to the store, if you want to buy 2 of them, because it's a little labor intensive, put them both in the oven,
Yeah, for
squeeze
sure.
it, put them out and then pop it in the freezer. You've got it later.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Thank
You
you.
always have these good tips.
She does.
Well, you know what? I really like Chef Shane. We have a lot of fun. So. And you can't see me smiling, but I'm having a good time
We all
already.
are, yeah,
Okay,
for sure.
time for me to.
So we're
do
gonna
that.
scoop out, on the butternut, it's gonna be a little bit larger. But we're just taking out the seeds. You can save these and dry them out and plant them, next year, or you can toast them and salt them and eat them as a snack.
Yeah, what's the trick to that? Because I've noticed when I've tried to do that, it never really tastes as good. I just feel like I need a grapefruit spoon here. I love to use my hands.
Yeah, whatever you, yeah.
I
for
have
sure.
washed my hands, everybody, just in case you're wondering, because it's hard to get some of this out without the. What are you doing to do it? Oh, you're just scooping into the skin.
A little
I had
bit,
to
yeah.
see you make a mess like
All
I do.
right, there we go, man. All right, we're gonna get real here.
You have to dig in there hard.
This is no time to be like,
Take out some of that COVID frustration.
exactly. Really dig in and get this junk out. Okay. Okay, that's one. Let me get the other out. I should have had you do this.
Usually give me the dirty ones.
I know. I've lost my touch, man. I gotta. I'll have you. You can deal with the fennel.
You can get your fingernails done again,
There we
right?
go. I know. All right, here we go.
Okay, so you want to pass it over
Still not
here.
super pretty. Okay.
All we're gonna do is on the cut side, we're gonna season it with some salt and pepper. And because these are like, really beautiful, fresh, we're not gonna put a ton of, spices or different things on here. I wanna keep it simple and really highlight the flavor of
Yep.
the squash.
Okay.
So just a little bit of salt and pepper. And then we're gonna get a little olive oil.
Okay.
And like I said, the oven is at 450 degrees.
And the oil we're doing just so that it doesn't get kind of crispy on that outside.
Yeah,
Is that
just
why?
kind of keep
Okay.
some of that moisture in there
Okay.
and flavor.
Okay.
We're gonna put it cut
And
side
we
down.
Put it down. Okay.
And we're gonna go in the oven. And I'm gonna set a 30-minute timer for us. So we'll see where it's at.
Okay, and
Then?
just so everybody knows, he put it down in the bottom part of the oven. And I noticed in my oven, if I put it down in the bottom, that's gonna cook the fastest down there.
Yeah.
So everybody just being a little bit aware of where you put it way up high. And you have other things in the oven, it's gonna take longer, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. And anything you add in there, any sort of mass is gonna drop the temperature. So
okay,
the more stuff you have, the longer it takes to bring the temperature back up.
okay, great, okay. Everybody got that? Everybody have theirs in the oven, because I know we go a little quickly sometimes.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up? Yes? Okay.
Awesome.
Pino to 41444 in case you feel like texting. Okay, let's go.
All right. So I guess we can go ahead and move into getting the base of our soup made.
Okay.
So,
We're going to Carrie?
Carrie gonna go
oh,
first?
Carrie's first. Got it.
No,
Nope,
I'm sorry. Keep
Not
going.
yet. Carrie has a few more minutes. Let's
All
work on the base.
So yeah, so for this, few ingredients. We have a yellow onion. We have fennel, some thyme, and an apple. We have reserved some of the fronds, the top part of the fennel. We're going to use this for garnish on the soup later on.
Smell with the mask.
So this part, the soup is all going to get blended. So the cuts here don't need to be super exact. We're going to start by cutting our onion in half. I like to take the
Oh, it's
top and the bottom
Oh,
off,
that's different.
and then cut right down the middle. Take off these outer
You can jump in if
layers.
you want anytime.
I know you always like,
I always need a little help with the onion so I don't smear my mascara up, right? As I do that.
you haven't started crying.
No, I haven't started. I cut a shallot though last night and I was in tears. Big chunks on the onion?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go, like medium large dice.
Okay,
Like I said, this is all gonna get,
because we're
blend it
gonna
up.
blend it, okay. Are we tapping that a little bit more then? Okay, like this?
yeah, there you go, that's
Okay,
perfect.
there we go, okay. All right, and then what do you want us to do with the fennel?
The fennel, just kinda, we're gonna use all of it
Okay,
on this end part where you have the little pieces, you can cut those. And then once you get to here, I just make like 2 incisions,
okay.
just so you get kind of a nice uniform dice.
Do I have to worry about this bottom part, cutting off like a?
No, you can leave that in, because like
Okay.
I said, it's all edible. I
Okay.
took the base that had the root part off of it already.
Okay. Okay,
All right, and then this is all gonna get sauteed together. So the next thing going in is the apple.
all right,
And this is not your traditional like heavy cream and butternut squash soup. It's very light. The Chardonnay has a lot of notes of green apple, and so I like to pair those flavors with it and play off of that kind of.
okay, I like that.
So we're gonna have some apple juice in this recipe. The fennel and the apple really work to kind of lighten it up, so
Yeah.
it's not such a heavy.
I'm not
soup.
gonna be bantering right now because I'm watching how he's gonna do his apple and make it easy
Yeah,
for
so just
me.
Cut the top and bottom, and then we're just taking the peeler and go down the side.
Peeler down the side. Uh-huh. We're gonna peel down the side. My good friend Mark is gonna peel down the side. It's a good time for me to taste that unoaked Chardonnay to make sure that it goes well
There you go.
with the apple. So I'm gonna do that. Everybody, if you're not cooking, have a little taste with me. How's that taste? Uh-oh.
5
We're all
seconds.
good. We can just wash that off or rinse it in the alcohol and it will be just fine. Thank you. So I want to say thank you. Luke, thank you for a gift. John,
Three.
thank you for a gift. Marty, thank you for a gift. Rachel, thank you for a gift. This is fantastic. That's a text Pinot to 41444 if you feel like it.
All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut just kind of around the core.
Okay, do I need to wash, do you want me to rinse that off? Okay, I can do it, okay. Get a little bossy sometimes here, okay. Thank you, my friend. Okay, so chopping around the core,
Yep.
great,
And discard that, throw it in our compost, and then
okay.
again, we're just trying to get nice medium dice. It's all getting blended, so it's not that important.
Okay, great. Because this, normally, if we were gonna cut it to like use it, we would wanna really worry a little bit more
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
sizes
If
of
you're
it,
gonna
but
leave
here,
it in
Yeah.
without blending it, yeah, it would be more important, but because of how we're doing this, it's a nice, quick, easy recipe to
Okay.
throw together.
okay. So
Um,
everybody good on that with the cutting? Pretty easy, like we don't have to make these perfect cuts.
And then we have some of this thyme from the garden. I think
Okay,
maybe like
beautiful, Beautiful
two,
time.
2 or 3 sprigs should do it. And we don't even need to chop this. We can just take the leaves right off the stem.
Okay,
Just kind of strip it.
okay, we're gonna strip it. Okay, I've never been as good at the stripping as I'd like to be. Do you do it? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I don't know about the rest of you. The stripping part is just not gonna be my strength.
You need to practice at home.
I need to practice. I really do. I really do.
We're off the rails already.
Yeah, that's gonna go. Well, here we go. All righty.
Carrie, don't join in. Don't
Haven't
join
been
in.
here in the kitchen for a while, so, all right, let's
Okay.
just keep going here.
Yeah, so we've got like a medium-sized pot that we're gonna use for this. Just we're gonna end up adding
That's medium size?
large.
That
Is that large?
huge.
Is that huge?
That is huge. Okay. let
In
me-
my world.
In your world, chef world, that is not. For the rest of us, that looks kind of big.
Just,
Okay.
we're gonna be adding 6 cups of liquid. We have the squash that's gonna end up in
Okay,
here
fantastic.
eventually. Just wanna make sure it's big enough, once it
Yeah.
starts simmering, if you are gonna err on the larger side, just so you have enough room.
Keeps the stove from becoming a big mess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
So we're gonna go with our butter. It's about 2 tablespoons of diced up butter.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna kind of slide all these veggies into the pot.
Okay, this is called the team effort right over here. It is always good to have a sous chef that you trust and really enjoy. Okay, you need to have a partnership. It is not just about utility; it's about friendship and humility. Because I can't strip time, and
My sous chef.
neither of us could particularly peel the apple. So you gotta embrace the joyfulness of it. Correct? Correct.
My
Okay.
sous chef is an excellent time stripper. So we're gonna go with a little bit of salt in here, about a tablespoon, and then we're gonna go on. You want to come over to this camera, guys?
Okay.
So we're gonna go on about medium heat. You get this started.
Okay. I'm gonna let you turn that stuff on.
Yeah, this one's there. You go.
There we go.
So a good, say like teaspoon. And what that does, adding the salt in the beginning like this. Do we have the mic over here? Do we need it?
Okay, so everybody, if you're adding the salt in now, be generous. I took 2 good handfuls and then sprinkled it around.
Yeah, and what that does is it starts bringing the water out of the produce. Like the onions and the fennel will release the liquid that's inside,
Okay.
and that just helps it start to cook down faster.
So this is what we would call sweating.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of what I'm doing in a wool dress next to the hot stove, but that's a different kind of sweating. Okay, here we
We
go.
got our spatula. We're just gonna give it a little stir.
Okay.
We're gonna cook this. Like I said, we're on about medium high heat. You just want to get it so it starts to release some of its liquids and start that cooking process. And this is the foundation, the base of our soup that we're making. So we're gonna end up adding some apple juice in here, a little bit of vegetable broth, and then at the end when the squash is roasted, that'll go in as well.
And so the texture, by the time we end, what are we aiming for? Are we aiming to caramelize these?
We're not looking really for any color, so we're gonna get
Okay.
it going over like a higher heat. But once we see it start to break down,
Okay.
turn our heat down, just so you get that slow release. You'll get a more of the sweetness, and that onion comes out that way.
Okay, great. And then are we aiming texture-wise softer, crunchier?
Yeah, it'll be. We want to
Or
take the
enough?
crunch away,
Okay.
and then we'll add the broth, and then just let that cook down the rest of the way.
Okay, Fantastic. Fantastic.
You know it's good when you can smell it through the mask, right?
Yes, exactly.
That time we just picked that time like an hour before you got here, and it's just so fragrant when you get that
So
fresh.
good. And I just want everybody to know now, Chef knows how to do that shaking movie, the snow thing. I don't. So I just continue to move mine around. Because if I do that, we will have hot burning fennel
Yep.
burn around the kitchen, and we don't want that.
That's why he gave you a big pot.
Exactly. Exactly.
Does it matter how much butter?
Oh boy, you tempted on it. That's good.
Reminds me, I don't know, something about the smell of this reminds me of Thanksgiving. Like you said, like it's just that fennel and the
Exactly.
apple.
Getting it started. So let me ask you a question. I'm sure everybody always asks, is this unsalted butter or salted butter?
Unsalted. We only use unsalted, just so we can control the amount of salt, because different salted butters have different levels of salt.
Okay.
And so I want to be able to control how much salt is going to each recipe. And so
Got it.
a lot of times if you put salted butter, then you season it, by the time you taste it, it's salty.
So
So
if people only have salted because they want it on
They
their
put less,
muffin,
then
then
just,
play with your salt. So I think that's always a big thing in a soup for me is.
And I think-
some
How much
people
butter?
oversalt the soup like this. By accident, what are you gonna do to fix that?
I would add a little bit more broth and perhaps like a potato.
I
And
was
just
gonna
kind
say
of
the
stretch it out a
potato
little bit. Yeah.
absorbs it, yep, okay. Good to know. Again, he's shaking and looks very professional. I'm stirring like heck so that I don't burn this.
So you can see it starting to go from white to kind of translucent.
Mhm.
We are a little behind. Can you please give a recap?
Yeah, so in the pot right now is one onion diced up, one bulb of fennel diced up, one Granny Smith apple that's peeled and diced, and then about 3 sprigs of thyme that we took off the stem. And there's 2 tablespoons of butter. We're just slowly cooking that down.
And a splash of salt.
And yeah, a little bit, about a teaspoon of salt. So there's gonna be plenty of time to catch up on this. Like, this really is a majority of the work tonight. Everything else is gonna be pretty relaxed.
And are we on about medium heat?
Yeah, I'd say medium low, probably medium for a home stove.
So medium on a home stove, and just keep stirring it, because you don't want to have that apple sugar stick to the bottom of the pan.
And so you can see we're about ready to the point where we can add our liquid.
Yep.
So what we have in these pitchers here that we're gonna add, this is 2 cups of apple juice and 4 cups of vegetable broth. If you could absolutely substitute chicken broth in there, or a mushroom stock, or really whatever you got. You're just trying to, for us, I like keeping this nice and vegetarian.
Well, I think the other thing with this too, right, is that there is the apple cider stuff, right?
Right.
That addition to that's adding a little sweetness
Yep.
to that and cutting some of the saltiness of the broth.
Yeah, and just the apple itself we chose Granny Smith because they do have a little bit of tartness, so you do have the sweetness from the juice, but trying to walk that line without it tasting like a dessert soup at the end.
Right.
Because the squash has definitely got some sweetness to it as well.
Right.
So we're trying to keep that balance.
So Ariana has a question. Did you use all the fennel? Does some of the fennel go into the salad?
Yeah, I'm sorry. So there's 2 bulbs of fennel in the recipe. We use 1 for this, and then 1 is saving for the salad. And then the recipe calls for 3 apples. We use 1 for the soup, and then there's 2 for the salad. Good question.
Very good question.
So this is just we're gonna let this simmer, let it come up to a slow simmer, and then just turn it over down to let it kind of bubble a little bit while the squash finishes cooking. I think we're gonna be going to Carrie now. Is that correct?
I would just say one other thing, if by accident you didn't get the direction and you put an extra apple in there, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because you can balance it out. Again, he suggested a potato, to throw a plain potato in. How about some cooked rice?
Yeah.
Anything just to kind of throw it in and a little bit of starch?
Yeah.
To do
You guys
it.
are still on that one.
So we're still on this one. Okay. That's a better shot for me though, so. Anyway, I'm just
We'll
saying,
get it,
if for some reason you put more fennel in or more apple in, that's okay. Now I'm really looking around.
Yeah.
There's more, you can put more in. You can always add rice
Yeah.
into it, or we can adjust later on.
Yeah, it's
With other flavors.
it's
pretty
it's not gonna affect the soup, and the salad is versatile. You can really, if we had whatever, if you have pears go great in this. If you have
Yep.
some radishes are good in the salad. So
Ooh, I'd like
you can
that.
always pivot a little bit on the salad side if you use all your apples up.
And now we're going to go to Kerry Gott. Kerry has been our winemaker since 2017 when we started making wine. And this is his 51st year making wine because he started when he was 12. And
Or
Kerry,
younger.
we're excited to hear about our unoaked Chardonnay and a little bit how you make the wine.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm at home. So in the kitchen and, we're doing our thing. That was the cuckoo clock that just went off, not me. So it's great. I hope you enjoy the unoaked Chardonnay. Oh, we didn't even see my where's the collection of wines for tonight? I really enjoy making wine as much as Shane and everybody else around the food world cooking, and I enjoy cooking, but actually my love is making wine, and I get to work with a bunch of great people in vineyards and in wineries, and staff on all various levels. I've made enough wine and been around so many great wine people. It's great to work with a group of people like everybody that's at Bricoleur that sucks all the information in that I can give them about making wine. So unoaked Chardonnay, sorry, I disappeared there. Why do we do unoaked Chardonnay? The typical style of Chardonnay that's made from Russian River grapes is, and we make that style of Chardonnay. The wine is, the grapes are picked, we develop the juice, we start a fermentation, then we go to barrels, and frequently it's 30 or 40% new French oak barrels. And then we switched, then we just let it age. But actually Chardonnay has an extremely fruity note to it as long as you don't pile on and overcast it with, maybe pile on is the wrong word, but the complexity of oak that really makes a nice style wine. But unoaked, you get the crisp style of Chardonnay. It has a fruit you may not recognize, which is a very citrusy, light fruit. And then we add just a couple percentages of another variety that we grow, which is Viognier. We keep it in stainless steel barrels. It never sees any oak. And it makes a different style of lighter Chardonnay that ages very well, has a great complexity in the mouth and can age very well. So unoaked Chardonnay is beautiful in its nose and has a richness that will go so great with the food we're preparing tonight. So I say enjoy it. I love making it, and I love seeing all the activity in the kitchen. So all good for you all. Thanks.
Cheers,
Cheers.
Kerry.
Cheers,
Thank you very
Kerry.
much.
Thanks, Kerry. Fantastic.
Sorry for the delay.
So how's everybody doing? Everybody feeling good? Like the unoaked Chardonnay? Okay, good.
Does everyone remember how to text to give? We're going to text Pinot.
Pinot 41444.
And thank you to everyone that's given. And we look forward to keep the donations rolling.
Does anybody want to show us their pot, how their soup is doing? Move your phones over and show us your pots. How are they looking?
Hey,
That looks
Oh, that's
great.
looking
That
good.
looks
Ariana,
really
that's
good.
great. Wow.
That's looking good. Excellent. That's everybody feeling pretty good then, okay? Are we ready for the next one?
How much applesauce from Ariana?
Applesauce.
Applesauce.
There's no applesauce. It's 2 cups of apple juice in the broth. So it's 4 cups of vegetable or chicken stock and 2 cups of apple juice.
And if you used applesauce instead of apple juice, what would be the conversion?
Water, water.
She meant juice. She got herself.
Good.
All right. So we want to start prepping out the salad now?
Let's do the salad.
All right.
Everybody ready for salad? Start prepping it? Good. Hands up if you're ready to go. Okay, let's get a little started. Okay.
All right.
Otherwise, I'm going to eat that goat cheese if I'm not careful.
I know.
Okay.
We had 4 ounces,
All
but
right, may I have a big, you want the big bowl out
Yeah,
there? And
yeah.
then we have the little bowl. Okay.
And
Your prep chef was like asleep at the switch.
Yeah,
here.
well, no, you're fine. Listen, I made you do the apple. It's the very least. Okay. All right, remove
Okay.
that.
we'll prep everything and then do it.
Don't forget to keep pouring that.
And
Okay.
just to recap, we got our soup is up to a boil, so we're gonna turn it down just a little bit so that it's at a low simmer. We just want that cooking down, reducing a little bit, and then we'll get our squash in there in a little bit. So first thing we're gonna do is get
Oh,
our,
we have one question from Ryan. If we did one too many apples and unpeeled, any recovery from that?
it'll be fine. The peel's just gonna give you a touch of texture. It really won't affect it. You're gonna blend it all up.
You could always strain it if it's not great.
Yeah, if you're unhappy with the texture, you can put it through a strainer at the end after we blend it. If it makes it too sweet, the thing we can do with that is balance it with a little bit of acid. So if you taste it and you think it's a little too sweet because you have too much apples, a squeeze of lemon or like a teaspoon of white vinegar will kind of balance that out.
Or there's a little acid in this fabulous unknown Chardonnay.
That was
You
good.
could add that
That
too.
was really good.
We also, I think,
Too hard to
had a
take a sip right now.
jokester because I saw them laughing as they were typing, but they said, when do I add the Tabasco?
At the end.
Later,
Yeah.
after you've tasted it and you've decided that you need the hot sauce on. Okay.
Keep the jokes
Right.
coming.
All right, so we have this beautiful radicchio from the garden. These are a little bit smaller than probably what you got at the store. So the recipe calls for 1 head, so we're each doing 1.5.
Okay, great.
And we're just gonna kind of cut it in half
Okay.
lengthwise. On this is our half. So cut the
So cut this in half.
radicchio in
Okay.
half, and then cut the half in half again.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna cut strips out of this.
Okay.
Maybe like 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, doesn't need to be super fine. And these are young, really tender radicchio. So there's not much of a core. Like when you get the ones at the grocery store, sometimes they'll have more of a core in them, like a cabbage would. And if that's the case, you would just take your knife, and if there was like a white core, just make a little triangle cut here and remove that. But we're gonna go ahead, because these are super young, we can pretty much eat the whole thing.
Great. So I get one that is, it's called something else. It looks like a radicchio, but it's longer. I mean, it's sort of like this, but it's long and thin. So we have lots of choices of radicchio.
Yeah,
in the
there's
Bay
a
Area,
lot.
right?
Yeah, especially in the Bay Area. We got,
Okay.
you know, there's the Panda Zucchero, which is like greenish to
Yep.
some of the red
Oh,
colors.
it's pretty. That's like pinky
Yeah.
green. I love that.
Yeah,
We can
there's-
use that,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah, any radicchio or, you know, escarole. It's, you know, this does
So
have,
we're sort of moving into chicories.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and why are we doing chicories?
Time of year. Yeah.
Time of year,
yeah.
and to me, I kind of like it just because it's a little peppery. It's
Yeah, a little bitter.
kind of beats me up a little bit, and then
Uh-huh.
I have the soft, luxurious creaminess of the soup.
And we are doing a maple vinaigrette for this, which is also
okay.
going to play off some of the, you know, we got some arugula that's getting mixed in here as well. So it just
Oh,
kind of
great.
plays off
Okay.
of that.
So I want to thank, I'm going to mispronounce your name, and I apologize. It's either Lila or Leela. Thank you, and Ronnie, both of you, for very generous gifts tonight. How about can you guys on your Zooms like do a little hands or claps or a little something? Thank you for the very generous gifts.
Oh, that's the total.
And the total right now, we're at 1743. Thank you very much. So let's keep it going. We've got a lot of really great wish kids and wishes that we're doing right now, you guys. I just want to let you know, we're having a lot of fun. Kids are doing fun things, whether it's, we just did a pig trailer the other week. We have a wonderful wish kid. I'm getting an interesting look like, are you kidding me? So we had a wish kiddo who shows pigs with 4-H and wanted a pig trailer. And so
She wants pigs here too. She
Got
wants
her
us to
pig.
get the little miniature pigs.
well, when you guys get the pigs, we know where to find a pig trailer, and it's air conditioned, so we can do things like that. So lots of fun wishes. We've had some shopping sprees. We've had some computer wishes, some great gaming wishes. There's lots going on, so we always need the help with that. Okay, I am behind. I'm
So
talking too
yeah,
much.
just throw it in the
So
bowl.
I'm going to throw this into the bowl.
And then
Okay.
the other part of our mix, I believe yours is on the far left door in front of Mark.
Okay.
We have our arugula
Okay, Mark,
in the fridge.
in the fridge. We're going to get arugula, and you guys are growing the arugula here.
We're in between successions right now.
Okay.
But yeah, we do have arugula here. This one is not from the
So-
garden.
This is a question, because I love arugula. Are we doing, are you putting the whole thing?
Yeah.
So question, are we, how do you feel about the baby arugula we can buy at like Trader Joe's or something versus I can get a bunch of arugula, which is older, more mature. Do you have a
Yeah, so like, you
preference
know,
or feeling about
you
that?
got like the rucola, which is like the Italian
Yeah.
varietal, and it's the baby stuff you get in the grocery store. I find to be it's delicious. It's not quite as peppery as some of the bigger leaves.
Right, right.
The stuff Mikey grows here, he'll harvest when the leaves are about that big. So we're actually chopping up our arugula, but
Yeah.
it has more of that hardiness, that peppery flavor
Yeah,
comes through that
yeah.
way.
I like to actually saute mine with garlic and anchovy.
Ooh,
Because
sounds
it's
good.
nutty and it's bittery and it's
That
just
sounds
yummy.
really
I
And
think we
it's
gotta
grilled
do-
with like pasta,
yeah, that
you
sounds
know,
awesome.
like Monday night when you're kind of tired and you don't really know what else you're gonna make, kind of thing.
I like it.
I
Okay.
think you need your own.
I think
I
you
think
should
I need
lead
to
one of
just, I
these,
need to
yeah.
be coming up here to get my produce from Mikey is what I think.
So the fennel on this one, so again, fennel and apple going in the salad just to kind of tie the dinner together. We're not gonna peel the apples this time. We're just
Thank
gonna
God. Okay.
cut, same way we cut them before, taking it off the core there. If you have an apple core, you could absolutely use that.
Mhm. If we feel like really making our sous chef do more work over here. that we can-
We aim to please.
And it is totally okay with that leftover apple to nibble on it
Yes,
if you're not
yes.
wearing a mask and
Absolutely.
drinking yummy unoaked Chardonnay. This is actually a perfect time for everybody to have a sip of the wine. I just want to encourage everybody.
And then
So-
Ariana wants to know, is the soup just simmering?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's over a very low simmer.
Should it be covered?
No, it doesn't need to be covered. We want to kind of reduce it down a little bit. It'll help kind of intensify the flavors of the stock and the juice.
It's also makes your kitchen smell really good.
It does.
And so I would highly recommend leaving that up. Can I ask a question? Is this,
That's perfect.
so everybody, when you're cutting your apples, we're trying to get kind of thin. Because remember, you don't want to have like super crunch, like like you're taking a bite of an apple. You want it thin enough that it's going to also absorb the salad. So try a little thinner than mine. Okay.
And then Linda wants to know, would it be okay to sub spinach for arugula or just leave it out?
No, you can do spinach. Spinach would be great. Really, yes, spinach, arugula. We grow a couple different kinds of mustard greens here, some azunas, anything in that family. If you got frisee or access to frisee, that's a really great chicory to use this time of year.
And they look good this time of year. They're
Yeah.
healthy and yummy.
Yeah, Mikey, actually, when he first came on, we were talking about his favorite things to grow, and it was broccoli and radicchio. And he's got 6 or 7 different kinds of radicchio that he's growing right now.
Wow.
They're
So
really
are you
beautiful.
guys selling the produce here at Bricolor? Can somebody come and get a CSA farm box from you or
No,
something?
we're just doing it enough for what we're using for our different experiences, for our dinner series, and for the lunches that we do every day.
Okay.
So we have food and wine programs 5 days a week here. So we use a lot of it for our lunches and tasting experiences. We also have a dinner series, which is a 4-course food wine dinner, which is every other
Yum.
Saturday night. And, typically we'll have 40 to 70 people in a socially distanced manner. And so
Wow.
we, use a lot from the garden for that. And then with the excess, when we do have excess, we donate to the Redwood Empire Food Bank, which has an amazing fresh food program. And they're right around the corner from us.
Wow. So I think the message there is if you feel like you don't feel like cooking, do we make a reservation if we want to come up and do dinner with you guys? Okay.
Absolutely. And these times, everything is reservation only, but, we can get a reservation for tomorrow and see everyone tomorrow.
Okay, so everybody keep that in mind because I don't know about you. I'm going to be tired tomorrow. I may just come back for dinner. Okay.
And then Terry wants to know, can I use persimmons instead of apples?
Oh,
in
yeah.
salad?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Wow. What kind of persimmons though?
I would go with the fuyus. The hichias are more something you want to bake with.
Wait, which are which?
So the hachias are the acorn-shaped ones.
Yes.
And then the fuyus look more like a pumpkin shape.
And which is the one that if you eat it the wrong time or you haven't done something right with it, it tastes like weird?
That's
like
the
a-
hachia.
The
Yeah.
hachia, okay.
So the hachia, you want to let it either get so ripe that you can almost peel it and eat it with a spoon. It's so soft.
Okay,
Or bake with it, like make a bread with it.
okay. Or poach it. Somebody,
yeah.
I had a friend who said they were poaching it for ice cream.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I
That'd be good, and you could freeze dry them, and we grow a number on the property, and we're getting pretty close to harvesting them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're all starting to turn orange. I just noticed that today on the drive-in.
Maybe you guys could do a teaching in the garden how to use the food lesson for some of us. 'cause,
Actually,
like,
we do want to
persimmons
have,
is not something I know how to deal with.
we definitely want to have food experiences where you go on a tour with Mikey, our farmer, and go learn about the foods that he's growing and the vegetables and the
That
fruits.
would be awesome. Who would like to do that besides me, right? Who knows how to use a persimmon? Anybody? Hands up? Okay, Carrie, that's not fair. You're part of this operation, so. But would this be fun if we did a food operation and we got to go take a tour and have that? Yes? Okay, great. I know some people are cooking, so I don't want to take you away from the cooking.
Actually, on Monday, we're actually going to harvest our olive oil, or olives, I should say, to make olive oil, which will be our 4th vintage.
Oh, wow.
And so we're really excited that we're closing for the day, and the team's all going to pick. And we hope to get, 30, 40 gallons of fresh oil in the next week or two.
I'm down to my last little drips of that, so I will be back for that.
All right. So
Okay, great.
one of the last things going in our salad is our fennel. And on this one, we're going to cut it in half.
Cut it in half, okay. Do I need to cut the bottom off, or you've already done that?
You can, I leave it on just because it's easier to get
Okay.
it. Oh, there's our timer.
Okay.
And then just as thin as we can,
We're fine, okay. Thin as we can.
A lot of times we'll use a mandolin, which I don't think a lot of people necessarily have at home.
Plus, you can get hurt with those
I
things.
was
They are
gonna say,
dangerous.
yeah.
They are. Some of my worst kitchen injuries have come at the hand of a mandolin.
It's okay to slice slowly,
Yeah,
folks,
for sure.
by the way. I was trying to keep up, and then I realized I was gonna lose my fingernails. So we're just gonna go a little more slowly through that.
That would make a mess, and then I'd really have to take over.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. We'll keep the red and the radicchio, and we'll leave everything else behind. Okay? Great.
And the reason I leave the little nubs on like that at the end rather than cutting them off
Yep.
at the beginning is because then that gives you something to kind of hold on to, and then you can discard
Oh,
it at the
good
end.
idea. And then I discard. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Thank you.
But-
Anybody have any questions of how we're doing? Because this is actually where we do need to do the slicing, I think, a bit more exactly than we were doing with the broth.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm gonna just slow us down a little bit by making sure that this, I don't love a super chunky fennel, I have to say. I like it super thin, but it's
Yeah.
gonna take me a little bit more time to,
I'm gonna check the squash while you keep.
We do
okay?
have, Ted said, Brown said, put both heads of fennel in the soup.
Totally okay,
Yeah, totally okay.
totally okay. So, anything that he wants to add? So, what else could he add to the salad? Because there's a crunch here that you're having.
Yeah, so radish I think would be a really good substitute. If
Great.
you got radishes in your fridge. We just pulled a bunch of kohlrabi out of the garden yesterday that are really
But you
nice
could throw-
texture.
You could throw, I mean, what else do you have in there that's sort of crunchy and nice? So you got maybe
Shellfish,
some
yeah.
cucumber? Oh, that's pretty.
So this is the squash now. It's roasted. You can see it's really nice and tender on the back.
Beautiful.
Nice caramelization there on that cut side.
What I wouldn't do, right, I think you wouldn't want us to do would be to add dried fennel seeds to that, because that's a
No,
totally different
no,
flavor.
totally. Yeah,
But
it
we
was
could do some form of like a cucumber, right?
Yeah,
If we wanted
cucumber would be
to.
good if you got
Little
cucumber.
celery
So it would
would
be
be
really good.
nice. That would actually be nice and not, because if you move into like scallions, Ted, that's gonna be a little bit more oniony probably than what he wants in this. But if you have any of those, you're good. And if you don't, it's fine. You still have the crunch from
Yeah,
the
there's a lot
apple.
of, yeah, you're gonna be
Yeah.
fine.
Okay.
So we'll crumble the goat cheese in here, then I think we're gonna go to
Oh, that
Dylan.
wasn't just for me to eat with the wine? I thought that was for me to eat with the wine.
So this is
Okay.
about 2 ounces of goat cheese. We're using the Laura Chanel Chev from
Right.
Sonoma.
You
Easy.
like goat cheese?
I love goat cheese.
Oh.
I eat this like by the spoonful. Could put this whole thing in my mouth right now, but I'm not gonna do it.
So
Okay.
It's
just
kind
gonna,
of hard with that mask
Well,
on.
it's super hard. That would look very messy. Okay, so if people didn't have the goat cheese around, what else could we use?
Feta'd be great.
Feta,
Ricotta
absolutely.
salata is a good one.
Okay, great.
I mean, you could leave the cheese out altogether, and this is
Right, if we want to keep it vegan,
yeah.
you don't have to put the cheese in at all.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the soup too. We sauteed with butter, but if we kept the butter out, that's a vegan soup.
Yep,
So
yep. In fact, I actually had one of our board members ask me if one of our menus, we could at least show some vegan options.
there you go.
So I love that we're doing that tonight.
Awesome.
But if we wanted to chart up the soup for the non-vegans of us, we could throw
You can throw some heavy cream in there.
heavy
if you really
cream
wanna
in, we
build
could
a
do
little
stock
bit.
in, yeah, we could do lots of yumminess, okay? Did everybody see, anybody working on their salad, they want to show us their picture so far? What do we have there?
There we go.
That looks very
That looks
pretty,
great.
looking good? Anybody
I would
else?
say that looks delicious.
Looking great. Okay, anybody eat their goat cheese instead of putting it in their salad? Yeah, I know, I would have. So it's totally fine if you do that. Okay,
So let's go ahead and talk to Dylan.
okay, so can I introduce everybody? Dylan, are you back? Are you still there? There he is.
Hi, Dylan.
Dylan, one of our fabulous Wish kids, who is actually now a leader on our new alumni group we're calling the Wish It Forward Council. Dylan had an incredible wish. Many people think when they think of Make-A-Wish, they think of Disney. Dylan, in his creative, a very, very creative way, took Disney to a very different level. Dylan, can you share your story with us? Thanks, man.
Of course. Hi, everyone. I'm Dylan. I'm a Wish kid. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm truly lucky and excited to be here, and I want to thank Make-A-Wish for inviting me to speak tonight. A little bit about me. I was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia in July of 2017, right before the start of my junior year of high school. When I found out that I had cancer, I remember my oncologist coming into my hospital room, and one of the first things she told me was that I qualified for a wish. And it just truly guided me throughout my treatment and gave me so much hope. Unfortunately, after 8 months of treatment, I did relapse and I required a life-saving bone marrow transplant. I had this transplant in June of 2018, and I did experience a long period of isolation after this and missed my entire senior year of high school. But this wish just kept me going. It just provided me with so much hope. And in December of last year, I was finally able to go on my wish trip to Disney World. It was the first vacation my family's had in a long time. And so it was very, very special to us. I was over the moon. I was just living my best life there. I had never been to Disney World for a week before, and it was my first time staying in a Disney hotel. So it was just such a magical experience. The highlight and the sole reason of my wish trip, though, was to meet a Disney Imagineer. It's actually my dream to work for Walt Disney Imagineering one day and to help them design their theme parks. And so being able to talk with an Imagineer and learn about his career and the steps he took to get there was just truly inspiring. And we had a great time talking and walking around the new Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And so, yeah, I was just super duper inspired, and it just gave me so much hope for the future. But yeah, overall, we had an amazing trip. My family were like forever grateful to Make-A-Wish, and forever in debt. It was just incredible. And after my wish, I realized that it's my turn to give back. And I just want other Wish kids to have the same opportunity I did and just have an amazing wish experience. And so I just started volunteering with Make-A-Wish. And as Betsy said, I am on the Make-A-Wish Wish It Forward Council. And that's a new program designed to bring together Wish alumni and families. I'd love to tell you more about it. You can just message me. But yeah, the power of a wish is truly amazing, and a wish lasts a lifetime. And so I just want to give back all I can to Make-A-Wish because it's just such an amazing organization. And I hope you all too. But yeah, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy your butternut squash soup. Thank you all for your support.
Is he an awesome wish kid or what? Right? Extraordinary, extraordinary. The vision, the creativity. Thank you, Dylan. So appreciate you joining us and sharing that story. Awesome. Is everybody ready to go back to their meals? Okay,
So we have our squash. They are hot.
they're hot. So if you have your squash, please make sure you have something in your hand so you don't burn it.
And we're just gonna take a spoon and scoop the flesh out. Careful not to get any of the skin. And go right into our pot here. And then we'll return this to the stove. And let it cook just for a couple minutes to kind of bring all those flavors together. And then we'll blend it.
Okay.
And the butternut squash is gonna be a little larger than what we're doing. So ours, you might need to add a little bit extra broth, or even just a splash of water will be all right.
And
If it's too thick.
And this, and the flavor between this and the butternut, just so that we're all kind of aware of what I'm.
So this one is, it's a cross between butternut and kabocha. So butternut has the texture, right? Butternut's really creamy. And sweet. Kabocha has a little more complex flavor. So I think it takes like some of the flavor from the kabocha, but then you have the sweetness and the creaminess of the butternut squash.
Okay,
One of our experiences we've done here, we've done a pasta with this agnolotti, where we just stuff it with this
oh,
puree.
wow.
And a lot of times when I do pastas like that, I would want to put a little mascarpone or some sort of kind of
Yeah,
to finish that squash. All we do is salt and pepper and the squash, because I just really like highlighting the flavor of this one, because it's just really delicious.
I love that. Well, so that's a very interesting segue into thanking a few people. So first of all, I'm going to thank Ted Bocci and Carson and the Bocci family. So Carson's wish was actually to go to Italy. And so I think you'd appreciate it when he's talking about agnolotti, right? The Bocci family, a little bit about Italian cooking. I want to thank Andy Prohl for a gift. Mark, thank you for a gift. Didn't see that coming in.
Absolutely.
Jason, I want to thank for a gift. So guys, we are almost at $3,000. Thank you so much for that. That's super going to help with some of our shopping spree wishes coming up. So that is perfect. Okay, I am really not doing a great job. Down. Okay, here we
Yeah.
go. That's a secret weapon right there.
Usually you got more time to let it cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Not doing it straight out of the
So in
oven.
future, right, again, like what I've said before, is that you can always throw these in when you're throwing something in the oven for a while.
Yeah.
And then keep them. And you can also keep them in the fridge for a day before you even see them. That's not gonna kill you, right? It's
No,
gonna be
not at
fine.
all. That's totally fine.
Okay, we're gonna put these back on.
Yeah, we're gonna put it back over the heat.
Okay, that's
Just for-
really, really big pans. So we're gonna carry that together. Yeah.
And we're just
Okay,
gonna let this come up to a simmer and cook for 2, 3, 4 minutes, so we get kind of the consistency we're looking for. And just
what
to
is
let
that
that,
consistency we're looking for?
we want it to be sort of like mine. Yours was cooking a little faster than mine, so mine's a little soupy still. When we blend it, it is gonna thicken up for sure.
Okay,
But I just don't want it to be too thin for our final product.
okay. So I think that what we're trying to get to then, because if I look at his versus mine.
No.
Just a little more, it's a little waterier. So it's okay. It's sort of like if you ever cook mushrooms and they get first watery and then they get syrupy. We're just
Right.
trying to get that. We're kind of just moving into that consistency.
Yep.
Here's the thing, it's not gonna taste bad. So if yours is still a little watery, that's okay. Right?
Good,
It's
absolutely.
okay. All
So
right,
now we're gonna make our vinaigrette for our salad.
okay.
So we have, over here, we have some apple cider vinegar. We're doing a maple vinaigrette. So we have maple syrup, a little Dijon mustard, some apple cider vinegar, and some of our estate olive oil.
Mm, yummy.
So we're gonna, like I said, that does have, radicchio does have a little bitterness, so we're
Yeah.
kind of balancing that with the sweetness, but we don't want it too sweet, so that's what the mustard's there.
Right, okay, great.
So we're gonna put the maple syrup.
And how much maple syrup is this?
This is 2 tablespoons,
2 tablespoons, okay.
and then it's 2
The
tablespoons.
bummer with the mask is you can't put your tongue in there and look out the little bowl, because that's what I would like to do.
2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard.
Okay, that's dirty.
Put the dirty one
Sorry,
in.
I put the dirty one in, okay. So 2 tablespoons.
You're making a lot of dishes.
I know, I'm making a lot of mess today. Okay, there we go.
And then 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar.
Okay. If we don't have apple cider vinegar around, is it okay to use red wine or
Yeah, red
white
wine
wine?
would be good. Champagne,
Sherry?
sherry would be great.
Okay.
And we're gonna whisk this all together.
If you don't have a whisk, you can also use a fork.
Yeah, for sure.
Just to know, and I actually use a really little salad whisk for this, just because I could go crazy and this could go flying over the
Right.
sides, right?
So now we have, what is this, 4 tablespoons of olive oil.
Oh, this is good. So we want to use really good olive oil
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
This is
especially-
not time to be using that stuff you use to saute. This is time to treat yourself to a good thing of olive oil.
Rico Vineyards olive oil.
Ricolor Vineyards is a fabulous olive oil,
Just whisk that in.
but it really makes a difference on the salad.
Yeah, it does.
I never used to think that the difference in extra virgin olive oil that is super fresh does make that much difference.
It
The
does.
flavor's completely different.
It really does. Steph, I've had, some people tell me they like a walnut oil on this. What's your
Yeah.
feeling on the walnut
Yeah,
oil?
walnut oil is great.
Yeah. I just,
If you can find it, you know, it's
yeah,
hard
I
for
just,
the
I don't, I
ingredients.
can't say I like it as much as I like the
I would
olive oil.
definitely not necessarily go straight walnut oil. It is a little strong.
Yeah.
A lot of nut oils can be that way, pistachio oil in
And
particular
they
as
can
well.
also go bad really quickly,
Yeah,
right?
they go rancid pretty
That's kind of why
easily.
I'm pushing the olive, because it's a little
It
lighter,
lasts
it still
longer,
has
yeah.
the flavor. I've had some walnut oil with like, you know, the Radicchio, the pear walnut
Yeah,
blue
for sure.
cheese salad, but if that walnut oil is not great, it's
No.
too much.
And
Okay.
yeah, when it's bad, it's bad. So now we're
We
gonna.
do have a question from Ted.
Okay.
He asked, what are the quantities of all the ingredients? Ted, was this for the salad dressing specifically? Ted, thumbs up if this is for the salad dressing, that you want the quantities for all the ingredients.
Or Ted, you could take yourself, can he take
We
himself
can't
off mute?
hear, we can't hear.
He's not.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, he's still muted.
How much vinegar?
2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons.
So it's a really simple recipe.
So
It's
it's
2 tablespoons vinegar, 2 tablespoons mustard, 2 tablespoons maple syrup, and then that's 4 tablespoons of
So it's a 2-to-1 ratio, it's a 2 olive oil to 1 vinegar ratio.
Yeah.
We got it.
We're just a little slow, Betsy.
And the
Sorry.
maple syrup is 2.
Yeah, 2
No,
2
no.
to 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Whatever your ratio.
Sorry, Betsy. We're a little slow.
So now we're gonna do a little bit of salt to season our salad.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna season the salad before we put it in. And how much are we doing? Just
You know, 2 pinches, maybe half a teaspoon. teaspoon.
what kind of salt are we using?
I'm just using kosher salt.
Kosher salt?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
We're gonna do a little cracked pepper.
Pepper.
And then we're just gonna dress that with our vinaigrette. You got clean hands, right, Betsy?
I've got clean hands.
All right, so we're just gonna gently,
You aren't in a minute.
yeah, you won't in a second.
Yeah, I won't in a minute. Okay, everybody ready? Actually, I probably should wash the bone because I was touching my glass. Do that quickly, wash my hands. Okay, so I just washed my hands again, drying them on this, and ready, toss it around. Does that look delicious?
So we got our plate back over here. If you wanna grab your plate, we can go ahead and plate one of these up
Oh,
right here.
thank God for Mark. I tell you, if I didn't have Mark. Okay, so we're gonna try and do a little bit.
It's a nice
So
little
very
portion more.
pretty, okay.
That looks delicious.
That looks good, right? We're doing okay. This is
So I
truly team effort. Thank God for you.
cheated and kept a little bit of my cheese off to the side so we can garnish with it.
Oh, come on.
Sorry,
Okay,
Betsy.
Now I'm
I
gonna
needed to
dig
get the upper
around.
hand. I know you come in here with skills.
Mark and I wanna equal this, so I'm gonna start digging through to make mine. Wait, we're gonna do a little extra.
She's a little competitive,
I'm a little
isn't she?
competitive, so we're gonna do a little extra flourish there because he's done that. We're gonna have a little, how's that? All right.
Oh, it's looking
There we
nice.
go. He has cheese. Ooh, his is a little higher. Hold on. Let's do that. We've got the height and we have the flourish on the side. Does that work?
Beautiful.
Thank you.
So now, I'm gonna go ahead and just blend up one of these.
bottom left.
We're going right into our Vitamix. You can't see it. I'll bring it over.
If you don't have a Vitamix, so what I have one of those little Cuisinart.
The hand blenders.
The hand
those work
blenders,
great.
I just pop that in.
Those work really well. All right. I'm just gonna pour this in.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do a word of warning right now. Everybody knows about hot things and blenders, right?
Yeah, be careful.
So what, do we
We're
have a
gonna let
word
this-
of caution?
We're gonna let the chef do ours.
Yep.
Yeah, just
Number one, don't do it yourself. I'm gonna leave that to him.
I wouldn't fill it up like we're about 3/4, I think, and we're pushing it like when you're blending hot things.
Yeah.
You only want to go like 1/2 to 3/4. You don't want to fill it up.
Right.
It's gonna be a
So is
disaster.
everybody hearing that? If you've got that and that's filling your blender, that looks like a beautiful salad. Way to go, Ted. Nice.
Allegra has the,
Allegra, if you have the hand thing, that's fine. If everybody else, please don't fill your blender to the top because it will go on your ceiling and it will burn you and this will not be a joyful experience. So
just gonna cover it with a towel.
cover it with the towel.
We're gonna start low. Never start your blender on high. That's
Right.
when you really that's when you really get some problems.
Well, but that also is a difference. This is a Vitamix.
So now we're gonna taste it for seasoning. Grab a couple spoons here. I have a feeling it's probably gonna need a little bit of salt.
Salt.
Yeah, it'll take a little bit, but oh, and then that apple really comes through nicely.
Yeah.
So I'm adding about a teaspoon of salt.
I have to lay out my bias though. Like for me,
Yeah,
I would definitely want to add cream or creme fraiche
Sure.
or something, just because that tanginess too.
yeah.
That
know
is
what's
so
really good?
delicious.
You know what's really good too,
Wow.
as if you're talking vegan options and keeping things vegetarian, coconut milk in this soup would be really
Ooh,
delicious.
good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we're gonna get our bowls.
Okay.
Just do one portion, make it pretty.
Okay.
I'll let you go ahead.
Here. I'm gonna let you pour that.
All right. And then calls for a couple tablespoons of creme fraiche in the recipe. We're fancy, so we put ours in a squeeze bottle, and we're just gonna get a nice little swirl for garnish in there. Probably about, like a teaspoon. If you don't have creme fraiche,
So
sour
this is
cream would
Make a
work.
Wish. So I'm actually gonna do a star, everybody. Okay. We're gonna do a star, and we're gonna do it a couple of times.
That's
Okay.
nice.
There we go. And I love creme fraiche, so if I didn't have this, I would pop that in this little thing and eat it because I just love it so much.
And then we have our fennel fronds that we reserved from
Fennel
earlier.
fronds, looking good. So chef, let me ask you another question. Just, if we don't have we forgot with the fennel fronds, for those of us who maybe have, say, pecans,
Yeah,
because it's that time of year, could we put a little, or
Pumpkin
the
seeds?
pumpkin seeds
Yeah.
on top? Add a little crunchiness?
Yep.
And for those of us that aren't vegans, if we might perhaps have some, say, cooked bacon or sausage crumbles
Yeah.
around.
yeah. It's a
Can we
very
add that
versatile
too?
recipe. Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I love about this, that you can add that, right?
Yep.
Good loaf of crusty bread.
Yep.
Oh, I should have put those around. You can't see the star. I'm gonna
If
need it.
you live
Add
in
another
the
star.
Bay Area, you get a sourdough French bread and make a bread bowl and make it, serve it in the
Yes.
bread bowl.
Yes, that
Oh,
would be so good.
I like it.
So how's everybody doing? Let's see, does anybody have anything that they want to show yet? Or do we need a few more times assembling, a little bit more time assembling? Here's mine with my Make-A-Wish star and our salad,
Our delicious Chardonnay. to
our
pair with
delicious
it.
Chardonnay. That's right, I'm gonna put through my mask.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you, Chef.
Cheers, Mark.
thank you, chef.
Thank you, Mark. Team Mark over here. I think we've done pretty well.
Ted said we haven't started to blend yet, just sorry, we're a little behind.
It's all
Ted,
good.
you're totally fine. Just make sure when you blend, remember, don't fill it up. And make sure that you're covered, right? Because that hot liquid could fly off.
Well, maybe while we're letting people finish up a little bit, Chef, you could tell us about some of our Cooking with Country, which is our
That's a
Sunday
great
night.
idea.
Yeah.
cooking show, which is at 4:30 every Sunday. And we just started back up weekly. And what are we cooking this week?
All right, this week, November 15th, Country is cooking some butternut squash pasta with some roasted Brussels sprouts. He actually mocked it up today and it was delicious. The following week, we're doing Thanksgiving sides. We have, there was some relish, cranberry relish.
Cranberry and walnut haricot verts, and then garlic, lemon, roasted Brussels sprouts.
Beautiful.
Yum.
So we have, we're doing a cranberry roasted, walnut roasted green beans and a Brussels sprout side dish that you could serve on Thanksgiving. We have a couple dinners coming up for our dinner series. The 21st, I'm really excited. I think it's the one I've been most excited about. Chris from our tasting room, our lovely leader here, his mom and he ran a French restaurant, and so she is going to be chefing a French-themed dinner on November 21st. And I'm just going to be her sous chef. I'm getting to learn
Love
a lot.
that.
We're doing beef
If you
bourguignon.
need, if you need any tips, I can teach you.
Can you?
The sous chef thing.
All right.
Chef gets to,
Team Mark and Betsy could totally teach you on the sous chef
he
thing.
gets to sit
Right?
back and just
Yeah.
eat and enjoy.
Yeah,
That
I'm looking
sounds
forward to it.
delicious.
I've had just a couple of her dishes, and it's just, she's an amazing chef.
Fantastic.
And then December 5th, we're doing a really fun dinner, black and white truffles. So
Oh, sounds amazing.
yeah, four courses featuring black and white truffles. That one's gonna be fun.
So.
Oh, and then in December,
yeah,
we
that's
have
your
Cooking
goal.
with Santa. The local Windsor Santa is gonna come with Country and cook a couple different holiday recipes on December 13th and on December 20th.
I love that. So we're gonna see if we can work a little Make-A-Wish magic around Santa, because we all love that. Speaking of Santa, I would not be doing my job as representing Make-A-Wish if I didn't tell you that right now, it is the Macy's Believe campaign, which is essentially, it's time to write Santa letters, because every letter that you send to Macy's, to the Macy's Santa, raises money for Make-A-Wish. So I would love it if you could go, can we put in the chat that we have a bit.ly quick little link you can put on your browser, and you can quickly write a letter to Santa. It doesn't have to be long unless you want to lay out your list, and you can do it frequently. It's like voting in Chicago years ago. Vote early and vote often, write to Santa early and often. So do you have that, or do you need that, Sarah? Great, so we'll pop that in. Thinking about the holidays, thinking about giving, it's a super time to do it. So please join us in doing that.
That's wonderful. Thinking about giving, one of the things we have
Thank you.
to do is remember about text to give. Text PINOT to 41444. We're at about $3,000, and we'd like to get a little bit higher if we can. And additionally, for those of you thinking about gifts that you need to give for the holidays, please go on Brinkler Vineyard's website, and we have a very extensive gift guide. We have, obviously, being a winery, we have a number of wine bundles, Chardonnay vertical package, Pinot vertical package, but we have some fun things. We have new magnums that we've just released. We have some things from the kitchen. So we have, what do we have, Chef?
So we
Jellies and jams?
We have jellies and jams, some couple different grape jellies, peach jam, a fig and balsamic jam. We have a hot sauce collection that we just wrapped up. We're
Three different hot sauces.
3 different
I
hot
believe.
sauces from peppers grown on the estate. We fermented them in-house and made just some really, really nice hot sauces. We have a spice and salt pack where it's cayenne infused sea salt. We have a fennel pollen and lemon verbena infused sea salt. We have a porcini steak rub.
Wow.
And what's the fourth one I'm missing? Pistachio furikake. So like a little seaweed and nut seasoning to sprinkle over like
So our
rice.
next quarantine kitchen, we're gonna go through the spice rubs and how to use them.
Yeah, that'd
Sounds
be great.
delicious.
And we also have an
Okay.
amazing Make-A-Wish bundle, which is the gift of giving. And it's a bundle with a Pinot and our bubbly, our flying by the seat of our pants North Coast Brut, and
Great.
our awarded Pinot with $100 donation to Make-A-Wish. So please support our gift giving guide, which
I
helps.
can't think of a better gift to send people or if you like to purchase things for yourself. That sounds like a fabulous idea. Have you drunken all of those? And that's a great donation to us too. Yay. Okay. Still
Alright.
starting to think about that pistachio yummy.
Yeah,
thing
it's
to cook with.
avocado. You put it on like avocado toast. It's really
Yeah,
nice.
and then a little bottle of flying the seat of our pants.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of dinner and tasting.
Yeah.
Sounds fabulous.
So how are people doing? Do you have some soups to
Do
show
we
us
have
out
things
there?
to show? Let's see salads, let's see soups. Or,
Hey,
oh,
look
hey,
at that.
looking good, Dylan. There we go.
Oh.
Linda, that looks beautiful. I love that. Allegra, thank you. How's it taste? What I really want to know, has everybody tasted it? Yummy?
Ted said Carrie has 4 glasses from her school starting to send cards in. So 4 of her
Thank you.
classes are
Thank
sending
you.
cards.
Way to go. That's the beauty of the Believe campaign. It is super easy to do. Oh, that looks good. Whose salad is that? Yummy.
Somebody in Washington.
Nicely done. Has everybody tasted and enjoyed at least? Okay, so do us a favor. Those are fantastic. Can you post those pictures on social? Because we'd love to see those. Yes? Okay, so we're going to have you post those. Hashtag Make-A-Wish, if you would, please. If you're not certain what to do, send me your pictures. And I will get them forwarded. You don't want me touching them, but I'll have other people do them.
And
Sound
Brickler
good?
Vineyards.
And Brickler Vineyards, please. Any other things? Any last minute questions? People feel like they're going to be able to, when we close this out, sit down and enjoy that beautiful bowl of soup. I am actually out of my Chardonnay. The problem with this little straw that goes with my mask, it goes awfully quickly.
Let me take care of you there.
Well, thank you. Good thing I'm not driving home. Okay. Anybody else? Any other last minute things? That looks beautiful up there. Ted,
Wow.
that's a beautiful
That
soup.
is nice.
That's awesome. Allegra, you taking a bite? Thumbs up? Fabulous. Okay. Enough goat cheese in the salad? Good. Anybody else? Anybody else cooking? Delicious? Thank you, guys. Well, this has been great. Guys, thank you for a little pre-Thanksgiving tip.
And we
Getting ready to get
encourage
started.
everyone one last time to text PINOT to 4144 and come visit us at Brickler Vineyards for an amazing food and wine experience. And if we don't talk to you, happy holidays.
And if you're looking for good gifts, please make sure to go on the website because I love that Make-A-Wish gift.
Enjoy, everyone.
Cheers to all of you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Cheers,
you,
everybody.
guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Dylan.
Thank
You're
you,
awesome.
Jerry.
Thank you for having me. This was awesome.
Love it. Bye. Can't drink this anymore with this straw. Okay.